We're here in Lindau with 37 Nobel Prize winning scientists, 600 young researchers, 12 of them sponsored by Mars, and people want to hear all about the science that Mars has been doing. Well, the great thing about coming to Lindau is that we get to spend time with science's rock stars. You're aware that you're in the presence of greatness. And the more that we can find ways of engaging some of the finest minds in the world to helping us solve some of these grand challenges, I mean, there's got to be some great stuff in there. One of the things we do is we like to have a lunch where we basically spend time with the young scientists that we've sponsored to come here and tell them a little bit about the kind of company that we are, the kind of work that we do, and why we passionately believe that these great scientists should consider coming to a company like Mars for a lifetime career in fun science that will make the world a better place.
The best part really is that you get to actually meet these young scientists who will look at you in the eye and say, this is the best week of my life. To sit with a Nobel Laureate and have a conversation, that is a gift.
So we have a science breakfast, which is the opportunity for us to host a discussion around a very meaningful area of research of healthy aging. So we have Liz Blackburn, who won a Nobel Prize in this field, and we put her together with a group of young scientists in a forum facilitated by ourselves.
Let's think about the huge amount of years that human lives are, right? So I made a little scale bar for you on this high-tech thing here. This is a time scale. What's the maximum lifespan of a worm that goes from here to here, right? Of a fruit fly from here to here. Now things get a bit better. Okay, let's go all the way out to a mouse. All right, keep going, keep going. Okay, we've got up to kindergarten. We've got decades and decades of life.
So the science breakfasts are always great fun, highly interactive, and a really good way to have meaningful debate in an area of public interest, but also interest to ourselves.
We're in middle age here, so maybe somebody's getting some diabetes now. I mean, that's the thing. It's not just your lifespan. There's perhaps years of living with chronic disease. I think you get the point, yeah. Right? I'm just constantly struck by how we have to be thinking in terms of enormous timescales that these things are.
The world is going to be facing an aging population. We're all going to get older, and there's going to be a lot more of us who are old. How do we deal with that? Helping young scientists realize that they can work with somebody and realize that these are problems that the world has to solve. And business and science can do it together.
I think the private sector can play a real role because the sort of research that can be done by a company that isn't necessarily related to just the quarterly bottom line is the kind of research that's complementary to what governments can fund. And I think Mars is a good example of that.
So we got 37 Nobel laureates here and just over 600 young scientists, and if we can play our role in catalysing some of the magic happening between those two groups of people, then we go away very happy.